Hey everyone, welcome to this video lesson in which I'm going to be showing you Salt Creek for the 5-string banjo. This is a melodic style arrangement. If you haven't done any of those before, this one's not super easy, but I'll maybe link to some other ones that are better to start with. But anyways, this is a melodic style banjo arrangement. This tune is normally played in the key of A, which is why you might have noticed I have this nice capo here on the 2nd fret, and my 5th string is spiked to A. Now, if you don't have spike for your 5th string, you can just tune it up to A, or you could just play this in the key of G. It just might sound weird if you played along with me. It also, you're not going to make many fiddle friends if you're asking them to play this tune in the key of G, because it's normally played in the key of A. Okay, that said, let me play through the tune, and then we're going to go line by line through the tablature. So no tab here in the playthrough, but we'll go line by line through the tablature, and at the end there'll be a slow playthrough where you can see the tab along with me playing it. So you have that as a reference. I like to do the first playthrough without tab, and the reason is it's a nice reference for people to come back and try to figure it out by ear just by watching my hand, or if students have learned this tune before and then kind of forget it, later on they can come back and instead of just staring at the tab, they can figure it out by watching me. Anywho, that said, if you want a copy of a PDF of the tab or anything, or you just want to support me, please check out my Patreon. I'll link that below. It's greatly appreciated if it's within your means. Okay, anyways, let me play this tune. It sounds like this. Okay, maybe I'll just sing it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there we go. So that gives you an idea of how it's supposed to sound. Let's talk a little bit about, before we get into the whole melodic style thing, I'll give you a little primer on that. But let's really quickly talk about the chords and the form. So this is a fiddle tune. Well, first thing, I started with a little 4-bar intro. We'll talk about that when we get into the tabs, but it's just a simple intro that is used as a kickoff for a lot of these fiddle tunes. Okay, let's talk about the form. It's like most fiddle tunes are going to get, it's A, A, B, B. So we play the A melody, then we play it again, and then we play a B melody, and then we play it again, and then we just keep going in a circle, passing it around to whoever wants to play it. So let's take a look. I'm going to put up the chords. The chords we need to know are G, C, F, and D7. Right? And the phrasing in this is very weird, especially the A section, right? You'll notice that we have these resolutions that happen on beat 3. Ba-do-da-da-ba, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have the second phrase is the same thing. We end on beat 3. F, 2, 3, 4, da-ba-da-ba, D4. We resolve on that D. Ba-da-da-da-da, 1, 2, 3. Da-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so they're actually quite odd, but it's a nice practice of trying to get these odd phrase lengths. And if you recognize that and you understand what's happening, you can use it a lot more easier in your own playing. Okay, but so the chords, it sounds like that. I did one time through the A section. I'll do a second time through the A section where I kind of just play them and say the chords. So it's G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, C, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, F, then D or D7, G, 2, 3, 4, G, then C, then you got F, do, 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 D, then G. Right, so I did the A basically twice. Then we go into the B section, which is much easier, but it still has kind of those weird end on beat 3 phrases. Boo-da, boo-da, da, ba-dee-doo-da-ba-dum, da, ba, F, do-da-ba-dee-boo-da-ba-dee-boo-da-ba-dum. Boo-da, boo-da, da, ba-dee-doo-da-ba-dum, da-ba-dee-doo-da-ba-doo-da-ba-dee, then G. And you'll notice da-da-da-dum, ba-ba-dee-doo-da-ba-dee-doo-da-ba-dee-doo-da-ba-dum, ba-da-doo-da-doo-dum, ba-ba-dee-boo-da-ba-dum, da-ba-doo-da-da-da-da-da-da-ba-doo-ba-ba-dum. So one thing to notice here is both the A section and the B section have that strange F, D, G, and those last 2 bars are played kind of however people want to do it. You could actually take any lick that I show you for those 2 bars and just put it in the other section. It won't sound too bad because those are almost interchangeable. And everybody kind of comes up with their own thing to kind of pizzazz that up. And we can talk a little bit about that with some of those licks, about how to figure out ways of changing them if you want. But there was one other thing. Oh, I forgot to mention, or I should just put a note, and maybe I'll put this in the editing, that, again, capo on the 2nd fret. So all of that, I was saying G and F, but it's technically A and G. Okay, before we get into the tablature, we got to talk a little bit about melodic style. So if you know this already, you can skip forward, but this is mostly in what's referred to as G Mixolydian or G modal. And what that is it's essentially a C major scale. Again, I'm pretending I don't have a capo on. It's a C major scale, so all the white notes on a piano, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but starting on a G. So instead of playing it like on one string, what we end up doing is we just kind of switch strings so that we can get these strings ringing over on top of each other, and it kind of gives you this harp sound, which sounds great on the banjo. So essentially what I do, and I'll put the tab up of this, is I go G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If I wanted A, I can get this A here. That's the first position of this. And I just went down G, A, G, F, G. We do actually go up here. Maybe I'll put the tab up. It might start on C because I think the way I've already written this out, it starts on C. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. We don't actually go this high in the tune. But I'm pretty sure that's what's written there. So that's a C melodic minor scale. Or sorry, C melodic style scale. So if you play that up and down, you get used to that, this is going to make this a lot easier. Or just even having an idea of the concept of what we're doing here. That's melodic. Okay, now there's another technique that comes up in this tune, and it's inside roll. Now I've made it so that you can actually kind of not play the inside roll, because it is what I think is the hardest part of the whole tune. And inside rolls, if you're not familiar with them, what it means is essentially you're going to take your index and middle finger and move them up. So instead of doing, let's say, just a basic roll, like a forward reverse, on 3, 2, 1, you're going to go 4, 2, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 2. So you can do a roll there, like a thumb alternating roll there would be. So that's what we mean when we say inside rolls. And we do that one time in the A section. And so when that comes up, we'll talk a little more about it. But let's just get into the tab. So here's the intro. The intro is just a standard old kickoff. We're sliding to G on this string and then hitting G on the next string. The big thing you got to remember is that 3rd string we're always hitting with our index finger because it comes right after a thumb. That's one thing students mess up when they do this. So we just do it 4 times in a row. It just gives everyone an idea of what this is supposed to sound like, what key we're in, what the rhythm is. Okay, A section. Let's take a look at this first line. I'm going to play it first. Okay, that's it right there. Kind of cool tricks, right? Have this slide here. This lick here, basically it starts on beat 4 of the first bar. That's kind of the, I don't want to say simpler, but it's the version of this. You could do the inside roll there. But we're going to do that the second line. But that's the part that you can kind of transfer over and play. Those first 2 bars could just basically automatically be the second 2 bars. Okay, so then we have this F chord, and you want to actually hold, like, you don't need to hold the whole F chord. You don't need your pinky here, but you want to kind of see that. Your index finger's got to go here for this, and we have this little F line. That's the second 2 lines, all right? So then we're going to take a look at the second line of this A section, right? Starts out the exact same way. Messed that up, but okay. So now here's the spot in that second bar where instead of going, we're going. And that's quite a bit tougher here, doing that melodic thing with the inside thing. So at first I would just get used to it with that first line and then try to do the second one. Or if you want to try it, it goes like this. So we go inside. Now you'll see that the fingers I wrote down, what do I have? Index, thumb, middle, index, or thumb. Those last 2 notes I either do, and I'm mixing it up, and like, you know what, to be honest, I should probably have it a little bit clearer because I sometimes will mess this section up. But you could either, for those last two notes, you could either go index, thumb, middle, index, thumb, or middle, thumb, or so it could be middle, index, middle, thumb, or index, thumb for those last two notes. I'll put a little circle on them. All of those work, but pick one. And don't do what I do and just kind of change it all the time willy-nilly and hope that things work out. Okay, then this last line starting on beat 4, this is the tough thing. So that line's really cool, and people often have a hard time getting licks that start on beat 4 on the banjo particularly, because we often work in big block sections. So it's nice to practice just that by itself and just count yourself in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to give you a really quick way of just varying licks to give them a little bit more flavor, and that's this penultimate note, this F sharp, G, the 4 here. We could play that with a couple different notes. You could go to 2, it's a little smoother. Right, this F sharp is stronger than the E. And if you want to make it a little bluesy, you get that F note in there, which is, you know, a lot of what we're doing in this tune. Especially with a little bend. That's a good little trick that you can just do on the fly to any of your licks that go from like one note back, because you can change those up. Okay, let's look at the B section here. So the B section starts with this blue-dip, blue-dip. And I'm doing it this way. You could do it this way. Doesn't matter. I like this. Then we have this melodic style thing up here. This is a very common position. You just take your middle finger. I'm putting it on the double dot because of the capo here, but normally it'd be on the second 10th fret. But it goes up here to the double dot, and you have middle finger, first finger. There's a really common little shape that you need to know. All right, so those are the first two bars. Okay, so those first two bars are relatively easy if you have this shape. These, the second phrase here, this, is very, very confusing for a lot of reasons. And I just want to point out the reason it's confusing is we have these notes, F and E, and we have these notes, F and E, same notes, we're playing them in two different spots. And the reason is so that we can get this open D note and get this, we can let them ring into each other. You could probably go, and just stay all in this one position. If you want to figure it out that way, you can. But this position is not as common and comfortable for me as this one, so I find it easier just to switch. And then when this open string, I switch this position and switch to that position. So we basically have three shapes. We have this F and E here, we have this F and E here, and then we have C and E here. So let me do that line one more time just so you hear it all. Okay, second line, we start off the exact same way. Now here we got this big long phrase, and you could actually just do the same phrase from the first line. It's kind of a big jump, but so we have this phrase here. We start off with this F and E, we're holding them right there, and we're just gonna basically kind of go straight down. Sorry, I have written. Right, so it's a bit of a tough line, and remember it starts on 4, 2, 3, 4 and 1, then 2 and 3 and 4, and then here's a pull off, and 3. Index finger getting this open string. That's probably, I don't know if that's the toughest spot. I think the inside roll is tougher than this, but that can be a little bit confusing. Notice I bend that F sharp up a little bit, and I honestly don't know what I did when I played through this. I'm pretty sure I did it both ways, but you could go E, F, or F sharp. Those will all work. Again, the E is a little smoother. F sharp's a little stronger, and then the F. F is just a little bit bluesier. Okay. So that there's the arrangement. Let me just, last time, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to play through it at a nice slow tempo with the tab up. But if you like this stuff, if you want a PDF of the tabs, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Just gotta say it again. But here we go. Sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. A section. Repeating the A section. B section. That was the E. There you go. Hope you enjoyed this tune. Till next time. Toodles.